Hey there, and welcome to Juicy Celeb Talks. We all know that Diddy has a reputation for taking advantage of many artists through his famous Bad Boy Records. However, did you know that the Lox were among the first to clash with him and break free from their contract? Signing with Bad Boy Records seemed like a dream come true, but behind the glitz and glamour, trouble was brewing. The Lox felt trapped in a deal that didn't align with their creative vision, and they weren't about to let Diddy take advantage of them without a fight. That's right, these guys didn't take it lying down, they went to extreme lengths to gain their freedom. After dropping their debut album on Bad Boy, the Lox, comprising Styles P, Sheek Louch, and Jadakiss, quickly realized they had signed a deal with the devil. Unlike other artists who quietly accepted their fate, the Lox decided to fight back, literally. They threw a chair at Diddy and even threatened him live on the radio. This wasn't just talk, the Lox were fearless and ready to protect their careers at all costs. Let's rewind to when they were part of Diddy's Bad Boy Records before everything went south. The Lox, repping Jadakiss, Styles P, and Sheek Louch, were always unapologetically real. They never pretended to be anything other than raw East Coast rappers with hard-hitting lyrics and a no-nonsense attitude. They defined the gritty essence of the New York rap scene. Their second album, We Are the Streets, wasn't just a title, it was a mission statement. Their music was like a gritty novel set to beats, making them legends in the game. Fast forward to today, and newer fans might remember the Lox for their time with DMX's Ruff Ryders crew, known for their tight-knit vibes and hardcore style. But here's the kicker, before they were rolling with the Ruff Ryders, they were actually signed to Bad Boy Records, run by none other than Puff Daddy. Now, Diddy was all about that flashy, blinged-out life, known for creating the jiggy era with its chart-topping hits and lavish lifestyle. His empire was dripping in luxury, and even though his star artist, the notorious Blige, had a gritty side, it was always wrapped in this larger-than-life mafioso persona. Before hooking up with Diddy, the Lox, initially known as the Warlocks, were making serious noise on the local scene with a demo tape that was pure fire. This tape, produced by Jazzo, had major labels buzzing and even caught the attention of Death Row Records. Yes, Suge Knight himself wanted them out west. They were on the radar of Death Row Records, the biggest West Coast label at the time. Suge was so eager to sign them that he called Sheek's mother's house, begging them to join Death Row. Imagine the Lox sitting around the kitchen with those long phone cords, listening to Suge's pitch while avoiding the East versus West Coast beef that was heating up. Sheek Louch spilled the tea in a Vlad TV interview, saying he was like, "Yo, I want you all out here, man. Y'all are hot." And yeah, we had some offers. But how did they end up getting sucked into Diddy's world? During the height of the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry, the Lox found themselves in a unique position. They were hesitant to switch coasts, especially with all the drama between the two regions. But it was none other than Mary J. Blige, the 90s soul queen on the rise, who helped them land in Diddy's circle. Eventually, they chose to stay loyal to their East Coast roots and signed with Bad Boy. She was like our #1 fan. She was loving our music before anyone, and she just brought us to Puff, Sheek told MTV in a 1998 interview. Right when their deal with Bad Boy was finalized, signing a multi-album deal with the label felt like hitting the jackpot for the group. But something many people don't realize before they get into the music business is how much money you get from publishing. Yeah, when you're the sole writer of a song and the song starts getting picked up in TV shows and movies, those publishing checks are crazy. They come forever, Sheek explained. Not long after signing, the Lox were living a lifestyle they could only dream of. In a 2020 interview with Revolt, the Lox reminisced about their time with Bad Boy. Jadakiss talked about the epic parties, comparing them to legendary gatherings. Styles P added that it was all about beautiful people, flashy clothes, loads of money, and endless celebrations. Sheek Louch shared that, with Diddy, it always felt like they were celebrating something. But the transition wasn't smooth at all. The first thing Diddy did was demand a name change. The Warlocks sounded too medieval for Diddy's vibe, and he wanted something more marketable. Sign that same day, or we probably signed the week before. He was like, you all are the Lox now. No more Warlocks, Jadakiss recalled in an interview with Hip Hop DX. Their admiration for Diddy made them open to the idea because, otherwise, they wouldn't have considered it. So, were they hesitant to change the name? Diddy said to do it, Sheek explained. Back then, he was like MJ in his prime. So, everything he said was gold. We were young, hungry, and from Yonkers. He knew a lot about marketing, so when he said Warlocks wasn't marketable and Lox was, we believed him. Mary J. Blige was their #1 fan, loving their music before anyone else, and she brought them to Diddy's attention. She was like their guardian angel, guiding them to a major label deal. Signing a multi-album deal with Bad Boy felt like hitting the jackpot for the group. However, one thing that many people don't realize before getting into the music business is just how much money comes from publishing. When you're the sole writer of a song and it starts getting picked up in TV shows and movies, those publishing checks are substantial and continue to roll in forever. Soon after signing, the Lox were living a lifestyle they had only dreamed of. In a 2020 interview with Revolt, the Lox reminisced about their time with Bad Boy. Jadakiss talked about the epic parties, comparing them to legendary gatherings. Styles P added that it was all about beautiful people, flashy clothes, lots of money, and endless celebrations. Sheek Louch shared that, with Diddy, it always felt like they were celebrating something. However, the transition wasn't smooth at all. The first thing Diddy did was demand a name change. The Warlocks sounded too medieval for Diddy's vibe, and he wanted something more marketable. They signed the same day, or maybe the week before, and Diddy was like, you all are the Lox now. Figure it out. So, they became the Lox, which stood for living off experience, and that was that. In an interview with Hip Hop DX, Jadakiss reflected on their naive admiration for Diddy and their respect for him, making them open to the idea because otherwise they wouldn't have considered it. Were they hesitant to change the name? Not really. Back then, Diddy was like Michael Jordan in his prime, so everything he said was golden. As young, hungry artists coming from Yonkers, they just followed his lead. He knew a lot about marketing, so when he said the Warlocks wasn't marketable and the Lox was, they went with it. Essentially, if Diddy had told them to jump on one foot and bark like a dog, they would have done it without question.